When a high-level employee leaves a company, it opens the door for a promotion from someone below. Players getting the opportunity to start, showcase their skill set, and shock the world. The Brooklyn Nets breakout 21-year-old two-guard from LSU, Cam Thomas, been lighting up the NBA on fire in the span of 2 days, becoming the second youngest player to ever score 40+ in a back-to-back behind LeBron James. Unshakable confidence, breaking out his skill set, which he worked on tirelessly with some of the most talented scores the game has ever seen. His first full season, seeing Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden at practice every day firsthand, Cam absolutely developed great habits. The strong work ethic combined with his fearless approach all of a sudden paying off. How's it going, guys? My name's Wilson. The 6'4", 210-pound two-guard always had offensive skills, mainly off the bench. In his 101st and 102nd career regular season game, the Japan-born shooting guard fully unleashed, making Nets fans forget about the disastrous Kyrie Irving drama. Finally gone from the team, thank goodness. After Irving demanded a trade, then sat out versus the Wizards, all of a sudden the Nets playing like their 2019 version. Not that talented, but having fun and showing no fear. It was an absolute travesty. Steve Nash continued to bench Cam non-stop as a rookie. Only Net fans saw up close his potential and attitude as a scorer. Was never gonna get heavy minutes being an ISO type scorer, needing the ball in his hands, not the best catch and shoot type. Now with Durant still injured, Irving gone, Simmons a shell of himself, this is the absolute perfect time for Thomas to continue setting the NBA on notice. Feels like the start of an insanity run, but Thomas has all the offensive talent in the world as a scorer, similar to a Lou Williams type, a nice feel around the rim, already has the step back threes, cooking his defenders one-on-one. Many feel more confident watching Thomas shoot over a defender than being a spot-up shooter and relying on knocking down open threes, which would be the next expansion to his game. Instant offense, similar to the microwave, a calm demeanor, the total opposite attitude of a Ben Simmons or a Frank Ntilikina. Even in garbage time, when Thomas used to get in with 2 minutes left, every time he had the ball, you know he was shooting, not passing one bit. Similar qualities to a young Kobe approach. The former 27 pick, a hidden gem, late first round, Sean Marks absolutely deserves more credit for selecting Cam, and second rounder Nick Claxton. Great draft steals. Cam the type of player who will only continue getting more confident, now knowing he's the absolute real deal, earning his minutes and play. First 8 possible games to start the season, 5 DMPs while playing under a minute in 2 of those games. Of course, after the Pacers game, Nash fired, fans were begging Steve to play Cam. Unlike other young stars not drafted high, they spent time in the G League, but Thomas just kept sitting on the bench most games, even at the height of the Nets struggles. A 9-game streak, going 2 of 7, 20.1 points in just over 30 minutes played at the height of the James Harden trade fiasco and the Kyrie not eligible home game distractions. Balled out, had 10 games scoring 20+ as a rookie, only for Nash to not play him towards the end of last season, where the focus was on Durant and Irving to win and make the play-in. Last 10 regular season games his first season, just 3.7 point average in 10 minutes, having more established wings than Seth Curry and Patty Mills. Brooklyn had enough guards to play ahead of Cam. His most impressive performance last season, almost a year to this day, February 16 at Madison Square Garden. No Durant, no Irving, no Claxton. Thomas played the entire fourth quarter, dropped 16 of his 21 in the final period, pulled off a 111-106 win. Brooklyn outscored New York 38-19 in the fourth, plus the dagger, answered the challenge when needed, getting the national spotlight on ESPN. Many realized that day Cam was truly going to be special for the future in a hostile crosstown rivalry environment where his Nets had no business winning. Even Knicks fans knew he was the real deal. Most rookies wouldn't even play in those situations, or would defer to their most experienced guy. Came back down 20+, finished his rookie season, averaged 8.5 points, just 1.2 assists, 43% shooting, just 27 from 3. Of course, the defense wasn't strong, more of an individual scorer who took a bunch of tough shots, had lots of flaws outside of scoring. Although Cam might never be seen as an all-around player, his ability to get buckets can make him one of the best 6-man for the coming years. A heat-check bucket getter off the bench, driving similar to Jordan Poole of last season. There were glimpses of greatness. He's not gonna go off every night, but important getting his chances, proving what he's capable of. The floaters and hand-in-his-face jump shot reminds me of how Bradley Beal gets his buckets, a la Anthony Edwards style without the athleticism. Surrounded and mentored by excellent teammate Durant, KD's competitiveness and scoring abilities, and Cam working on his game with one of the best ever every day in practice makes him even more advanced for his age, mastering his craft.
We just talked the game. He's seeing my game from a different vantage point, coming off the bench. I'm seeing his game, so we just exchanging information and going over stuff that we see and trying to sharpen our skills and our IQ as mental basketball players first. So it's good to see a young dude like Cam who's into it like that, you know what I mean? You can tell he's a student.
Having a relentless will to get buckets, under control, watching the Wizards and Clippers games, playing silent minutes. Nobody expected Thomas to deliver in the come from behind win versus Washington. Shot 16 of 23 from the field. Not even Kyrie had a back-to-back 40-piece for Brooklyn. Down 23 to come back and win it. Very similar to his outburst last year against the Knicks. Cam unleashed his abilities after being held hostage by Steve Nash. A 19-point fourth quarter outburst looked like a phenomenal closer, similar to what Kyrie normally does, making his case as a potential starter very soon. If he can grow other facets of his game and get better with the passing, find the right mixture between putting up shots, most times worse finding the open teammate, there's no doubt Cam has the ability to become all-star material before we know it. December 10th, after Durant played heavy minutes every game and Kyrie also not playing, a break for the main guys. Even Joe Harris and Seth Curry wasn't suited at Indiana. Where's a full Pacer squad? Brooklyn somehow won that game they had no business winning, thanks to Thomas, a masterful 33-point outburst, 13 of 20 from the field, including 21 of those points in the fourth, playing the entire 12 minutes for a 136-133 win, took over down the stretch. While nobody was paying attention to that game, many didn't watch, assuming Brooklyn was going to get destroyed. Nobody else on the floor besides Cam for Brooklyn can create their own shot. Thomas, already proven, will gladly take the responsibility upon himself. Imagine how many of these high-scoring games he would have had if he was on a bad team like the Pistons or Spurs because of the big-name stars in Brooklyn. Thomas' opportunities were limited. In the meantime, Durant still remains. Who knows for how long? The Brooklyn Nets actually have hope after the Irving era. Thomas, the second guy outside of Durant who can create effectively. When you need a bucket, you know who to go to. His bag real deep, a smooth jumper, 91 points total his last 2 games. Teammate Ben Simmons scored that many his last 15 games since December 23rd. Now the 21-year-old will have plenty of opportunities to continue putting the ball in the basket. Could Thomas be the reason why Durant might stay put in Brooklyn, from sitting on the bench now to looking like all-star caliber? If Cam can help the Nets win more games unexpectedly without Durant being available, the franchise better be keeping Thomas long term. His most recent game versus the Clippers, Cam was the best player on the floor, and sharing the same court as PG and Kawhi, absolutely jaw-dropping stuff. Cooked them all, longer and taller Clipper defenders, which goes to show Thomas will only get more confident and can score on anybody. The nice arc in his shot, super talented, just a pure basketball bucket getter, nothing fancy, a competitor at the highest level. As he progresses in being aggressive, Cam will start getting the superstar calls, will go to the free throw line more, which will be another lethal weapon every team should fear. The future super bright, the upcoming games will be intriguing. Having a teammate like KD critiquing your game and giving you all the advice and answer all the questions Thomas might have, as long as Cam continues his play, improves on his weaknesses, willing to learn to help his team win besides scoring the ball, and not get too ahead of himself, having a nice flow to the team, being a good teammate, always showing up and not making excuses or cause distractions like his former guy, Cam Thomas can become a 20-point scorer and become a true breakout stud for not even next season, but as early as post All-Star break. The Brooklyn Nets might not be considered anywhere close to title contenders on paper, but Cam Thomas on his way to becoming one of the game's brightest rising stars.